Hello class, we're going to read a story. It is called Whistle for Willie. That's the name of the story. The author is Ezra Jack Keats. He's the person who wrote the words for this story. So on the front cover we see his name. He's also the illustrator. The illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. So he drew all the pictures and wrote the words for this story. Look at the boy on the front cover. What do you think he's trying to do? Look at him really closely. Can you see? What do you think he's trying to do? It looks like the boy's whistling. When you whistle, you put your lips together and blow to make a sound. Like that. The title of the book is Whistle for Willie. If the boy is the one whistling, I wonder who Willie is. Who do you think Willie is? Let's read the book together and see what we find out about Willie. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around and around. He whirled faster and faster. When he stopped, everything turned down and up and up and down and around and around. Peter saw his dog Willie coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled, Peter thought? Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but he still couldn't. So Willie just walked on. So where was Peter hiding just then? The word carton is another name for an empty box. So he's hiding from Willie in this empty box. Why does Willie just walk past him? Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalks out of his pocket and drew a long, long line. Right up to his door. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew until his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. So there's his line, and there's him trying to whistle. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling. Still, no whistle. Why do you think Peter puts on his father's hat to practice whistling? Maybe he thinks that he looks grown up. Maybe he thinks that looking grown up helps you whistle. When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I've come home early today, dear. Is Peter here?" There he is, pretending. His mother answered, "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go out and look for them," said Peter. First, he walked along a crack in the sidewalk. Then he tried to run away from his shadow. He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. He came to the corner where the carton was, and who should he see but Willie? Peter scrambled under the carton. He blew and blew and blew. Suddenly, out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. "It's me," Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight to him. Peter ran home to show his father and his mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling. So did Willie. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there, and he whistled all the way home. So like whenever he does this, he's so proud of being able to whistle, he goes on an errand to the grocery store. What do you think the word errand means? An errand is when you take a quick trip to do something like go to the store or the post office. Have you ever gone with a grown-up to do an errand? And that is the end of our story. Who can remember what the story is called? Whistle for Willie. And that's the end of our story time.